And this special edition I'm having for you guys called Healing Season. As you guys know, I am on a healing journey, and one of the great things I love about this journey is I'm learning new ways to heal. And what better way than to sit down with one of the greatest people I know, you know what I'm saying, and the greatest yoga teacher in the world. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know what I'm saying? It's Rashida, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, guys, I do want to mention, it is Men's Health Month, by the way. If you didn't know it now, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to, I better say, please, can you come on, you know what I'm saying, talk about yoga, because this is class number 2, I think, for me.
This is class number 2.
Class number 2, and I promise y'all, I generally come in feeling one way and I leave feeling a whole other way. So I wanted to talk about just how yoga can impact your healing journey. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado.
Thank you. So I think it's important first maybe to talk about my start with yoga.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What's the second again?
So I feel like a lot of people know me for my working out, for bodybuilding, being a bit of a stickler in terms of functional training. And I started practicing yoga probably when I was in college, just real happenstance, not a regular practice.
Yeah.
And then I got reintroduced to it while I was bodybuilding as a way just to loosen up my muscles.
Man.
Yeah. And I fell in love with it for a season and then put it down, and then went on to lift more weights or do whatever it is that I was doing. And then I found that there were so many people asking for yoga. So I actually became a yoga teacher, not for healing journey,
right,
for all financial gain. But what I found is that the more you dive into the practice, the more you discover about yourself. And so my yoga teacher training, I was really the only student. And so because my teacher was so intense, a lot of the discovery that I had was literally on the mat. And so time over time, you become more comfortable stretching your body into places that are so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And that flexibility that we learn to have on the mat translates very well into our regular life. Yeah.
Wow.
So you gotta make, for me, that's what it was. And then as I started teaching more and more, again, you practice more and more, and you just fall in love with it, at least for me, more and more. I think the personal training aspect for me helps me push my clients a little bit further than most yoga instructors.
Yeah.
And because I have such an eclectic background, and I didn't just start from yoga, I can empathize with people. And so that lets me push you even more.
Yeah.
So that's just the practice.
Yeah.
But as you're unfolding or folding on the mat, the thing that should come the most is that everything you need is right there on that mat.
Come on now.
All of the resolve that you find can be found on that 6-foot mat. Stretching your body, finding comfort in some of those uncomfortable positions. Again, those things translate into the rest of your life as well. My personal opinion is that we are so overstimulated with phones and with swiping and with, being on for this person and on for that person, that having this time of just solace and quiet on the mat is so much more needed, because the only thing you can focus on is, can I touch my toes? Can I get my knee over where it's supposed to be? And I feel like those things, because your body is so, we hold a lot of that tension and trauma in our physical body. When we're stretching and pulling and manipulating those things, we're able to release some of that that built up stress and energy. And one of my favorite things to do is to always add a little bit of twisting for the waist and the hips, because we're sitting all day.
Right.
All of our upper and all of the lower is compressed right in the middle. So having
I'm sitting straight a little bit more nowadays myself.
Right. But that's how it's supposed to be. The lessons that you find on the mat will translate into, how you're able to move throughout your day. So the healing starts right there with you on the mat. I keep pointing to the imaginary mat.
No, but listen. The podcast, she remember how I was on that mat just a little while ago. When y'all can't see, my toes is out. Well, we just got done, by the way. But one thing I want to harp on was the breathing exercise
Yes.
that we do.
Yes.
Because, like, I love how you say, like, all right, breathe. 'Cause
Yes.
I didn't realize how much you don't realize you're not breathing until you, like, breathe.
Well, you got to remember, too, that our body naturally only has two responses, fight or flight. That's it. So either we're going to stand here and fight or we're going to run. And either of those, both of those, have to be controlled by your breath. And there's so many steps that can happen in between. I can't remember exactly who I was listening to, but I was listening to a podcast or somewhere. And what I took away, and I try to always share that as well, is that all of the emotions that we have are controlled by the breath that we have. So when we feel panicked, we breathe like we feel panicked. Or we hold our breath because we're waiting for the thing to happen.
Right.
And so I always tell my clients, when I see them struggling to get to a posture, remember to breathe. If you can relax your breath, you can reach the goal that you're trying to get. Because sometimes that goal is not just to get your hands to your toes, but it's more relaxing the shoulders down, you know, taking control of your breath, being mindful that I have to mentally take a chill pill or mentally remember to breathe. I also love teaching with a variety of students too, because my older students can see where they've come from, and my new students have somewhere to look forward to.
Good.
And I don't always encourage people to look around the room, but I've been lucky enough lately to be able to have a really varied group. And so it is important to point out to people, like, remember when you were there, and here you're here struggling. I can't reach my toes.
That's a real ring act, by the way, y'all.
All you have to do is take a breath and remember. And even when we are stressed in our regular life too, again, all of the lessons that we learn on the mat are easily translated to our regular life too. So when we're feeling anxious, you know, like I'm a mom, and I take that with a lot of pride. So I have a grown daughter. So, but that doesn't mean she doesn't get on my nerves or that I don't get on hers, you know. And one thing that we're always able to do is, like, even where we're, you know, gnashing teeth at each other, we're able to walk away, take a breath, and then realize, like, you're not the enemy, I'm not the enemy. We can figure this out. And sometimes just that breath is enough to be able to have a reset, like, oh, okay. And on the mat, I feel like, because we hold our breath in our regular life on so many different situations, oh, my boss, oh, my kids, oh, this red light, oh, this work, you know, whatever the thing is, if you can take a breath, it's almost like remembering to be nice to yourself, you know, to be graceful to yourself. And if you can do that, to me, you can eventually with time get to wherever it is that you want to go. Because today you can touch your toes. Tomorrow you might be sitting in a meeting for 12 hours and not be able to touch your toes. So every day is different. It's a practice for a reason, you know. It's not a perfect. We're just every day practicing.
No, I got you. But it's a marathon, though.
That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a lifelong marathon. You know, all of the lessons that, again, the things that you learn on the mat, finding comfort in discomfort, remembering to breathe, mind your mat, even though I've gone against that. And that just really is a reminder that all of the things that you need are on that 6-foot mat. You don't need anything else. You don't need the distractions. Leave them at the door. You don't need the arguing. Who are you arguing with? You don't need the, you know, the worry about the children. This thing is here for you, and that's it. And you can take your mat anywhere. You know, like, that's the best part of it. You can leave your mat in your car. You can, you know, have one under your bed. You can mentally have an imaginary mat when you're sitting in the parking lot. You know, just taking a mindful breath, a mindful moment to reset yourself and recenter yourself. Because I feel like that's, you know, a lot of us, we look to other things and other people for healing. When you know, we are lucky enough to be able to have all of the things that we need inside of us. It's just a matter of discovering those things.
Come on now.
Yep.
Come on
So,
now. That's good stuff right there.
I feel like you discover that on the mat. I love when my clients have that aha moment, like you were talking about, oh dang, I do hold my breath. Well, from here on out, you'll just be like, all right, I don't want to hear Rashida say,
no,
let that breath go. So I'm going to take a breath.
I'll just be more mindful.
Yes, be more mindful and more intentional about, you know, again, where you are. And, all right, I didn't even notice that. Oh, okay, now I can take a breath. It's almost like we need to give ourselves permission enough to be able to move forward. And to me, that's also what healing is too, is starting with forgiving yourself and recognizing that, you know, maybe I could have done something different or maybe I couldn't have.
Right.
But I did my best.
Come on now.
And I'm going to do better the next time. And that's what practicing is too. You know, like we're really all practicing that life for real too.
No, listen.
Just every day, learning how to do something different.
Yeah.
Learning how to govern ourselves a little different, all of those things.
Listen, I want to thank you once again, because like I believe hands down you can't argue with me. You're a great teacher. Once again, you have a way of once again teaching without making someone feel like, I'm saying less than, or making them feel like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel empowered when because my little hips don't be hitting y'all. No, they don't be hitting.
They getting there.
They getting there. They getting there. But just once again, take the intentionality that you have with each person or whatnot. I love it or whatnot. And then I don't know if it's trade secrets or whatnot.
No,
but one of the things,
I don't have any. I'm gonna share everything.
That's what's up. I love how you when we begin the class, you always be very intentional, like what is it you want to accomplish in this session and whatnot. And I love that we begin each class with that, we end each class with that and whatnot. And man, it makes you just think about, okay, the stillness of life, or you know, whatever's going on. It wasn't in this time we were here, so it was all right. It's gonna be all right either way it goes, you know.
And that's why I use those words. Like sometimes we want to dedicate it. Sometimes we want to think of a memory. Sometimes we want to call like a resolution to a problem. Like in my opinion, and again, everybody has their own personal opinion, but yoga is so much more than just a physical practice. Yoga is a union or a unite with yourself. And so on this mat, I feel like I'm not the boss because I'm not on your mat. I'm just in the car with you. You know, I'm just riding in the passenger seat saying, hey, you know, turn left here, turn right here. You know, we got to go past the mailbox 3 doors down. You know, that's what my goal is. You're doing all of the work. And so if you're doing all of the work, then you should receive all of the benefit. And the benefit is stretching your limits physically so that your mind and your body can meet in that place and be able to offer the world the best version of yourself. To me, that's what yoga is. I stretch myself here on the mat so that I'm much more flexible in the world. Yep. At least that's how I look at it.
No, and I'm about to say, like I said, I see the extreme benefit, because some people say therapy is the way, some people will say yoga is the way, some people say other things are the way or whatnot. I like the combination of all these things just accumulating to the same position, which is a better you.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of different ways to get to one person's healing. Some people like to be able to talk it through, move it through, you know, think it through, discuss it through. But I feel like for me, in my healing journey, the gym has been the most faithful thing. You know, 10 pounds is always 10 pounds. Just like my yoga mat is always empty. My yoga mat is always empty. You know what I'm saying?
You drop a whole gym. How y'all caught that? You just said, man.
Well, but I mean that literally and, you know, metaphorically as well.
Right.
But my yoga mat exists wherever I decide to take it. You know, on the beach, on the, you know, in the elevator, at my desk, underneath my desk. You know, wherever you can find some quiet. I also think that people make healing a lot more complex than it has to be. It could
I have my thing. I don't have it with me though. You know what I'm saying? But I hope y'all taking notes, because that's. Whew.
But you can just take baby steps, and as long as you're taking one step at a time towards the direction that you want to go, I feel like you're on that way. It just takes some people longer than others, and some people heal faster with less trauma or more trauma. But the most important thing is just taking the steps, whatever those look like to you,
No, listen. And like, so y'all don't know, we trying to get Rashida on to the pull-up spin and talk about our entrepreneur journey and whatnot, so stay tuned for that. But I want you to leave us some words of wisdom about anyone going through the healing journey or whatnot. What words of encouragement would you have for that?
Try it all. Try it all. Try it all. Try it all. Therapy, yoga. I think that also we have gotten so far away from like congregating with same-sex groups. So like finding a group of men or women that are able to support you. I think that COVID and a lot of things has separated us so much. I think that us, especially as Black people, we are communal in creatures, and so getting back to the place where we can be together and pick from different people with different life experiences.
I love my group, by the way. It's very diverse.
I do too.
As like, it's unisex, you know what I'm saying?
I
Old,
love
young,
it. Man, I love it. I love it. And it changes all the time. I have, Sean sometimes brings her grandson. He's 6 or 8.
Yeah.
So
doing yoga.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So I love it. And then even I teach seniors too. So I have some senior clients that are like 89 doing yoga and doing chair yoga. So the limitations are only existing in your mind.
Come on now.
So whatever thing that makes sense or feels good to your life and to your body, that's what you should do. That would be my 2 cents.
That's a great takeaway. So listen, guys. If you're not doing anything, is it just strictly Thursdays?
No, Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. It's a little bit more high energy. We're a little bit more up and down. I don't want to say not so much healing, but it's a little bit more heart healing.
There we go.
And then Thursday is a little bit more low flying, more mental healing.
I'll go Thursday. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll let us see y'all there. Where can people reach you? And like I said, y'all just stay tuned. We don't have her back or whatnot. We'll have her on the pull-up talk about her entrepreneur journey and whatnot. But I want the people, if they want to sign up or get in the class, how they get in touch with you.
So I am old school and new school at the same time. My Instagram handle is my name is Rashida. I do have a link in my bio that has all of the platforms that you can find me. I also can be texted like a real person or called.
Okay, there we go.
Or called 216-466-1229. Share it with your friends.
There we go.
Have people pull up on me.
There we go. Y'all heard that. And by the way, for my lazy people, I'll have in the show notes, so there'll be no excuse, by the way.
Yes.
So.
And you know what? And to say, we also offer as in person and online. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Chicago, wherever you can reach, wherever you can be, as long as you have an internet connection, you can reach us.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep. So listen, ain't no excuse, guys. Listen, I appreciate you taking the time with us today. I'm like, please, can you just, stop,
You did. You were right. You're right. Let's just get it done.
I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all found the value, and I hope y'all took y'all notes. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, whole purpose of this whole segment, guys, is just because we're in a wild time where I feel like healing is needed or whatnot, and we're just exploring in different ways, and I pray that it's helping you right now, okay? So listen, guys, until next time, peace, all right?